Hi everyone!
Hi.
So it's our weekly meeting, Madeleine with Annie today. Today's topic is why or you should be putting yourself first, how to be selfish a little bit more. And we always discuss our topic before we start just to make sure that we're kind of lining up. And you remember last week we had like a video about relationship with food, where it's really a subject where I struggle. I'm better now, but I had to work really hard on myself to kind of develop like a really healthy relationship with food. Well, and Anik, it's easier for her. She just loves working out. She loves eating well. She loves cooking, and that's her personality. Where this week, how to put yourself first, how to be selfish. It's my turn to kind of, it's my turn where I'm born that way. It's totally me. I have zero trouble realizing that I'm tired. When I'm tired, I go to bed. When I don't want to do something, I don't do it. It's so me. I think I'm really good. You know, I think I'm a good team member. I think I'm an okay boss. I think I'm an awesome stepmom. But life is around me, and I designed my entire life around it. Where Anik had to learn how to put herself first in a harder way.
Yes.
So I guess I was lucky to have a mom like me. So I just watching her, like she did what she wanted. She was, you know, when she's tired, she's tired. When she's not tired anymore, she wakes up. Like, you know, she doesn't. Yeah. So watching my mom, obviously, I became who I am, and you know. So I think Anik will really be the good one to talk about this. So Anik, I would like you to explain a little bit, you know, what you were before, what happened, and how you realized the importance of putting yourself first. Because I think a lot of people that are watching this will relate to this.
I think for me is I was born and going into my, my childhood and in my 20s, I was very independent, very, goal-oriented, very I don't want to say myself and I, but kind of. When I lost track was when I had my daughter. And I'm sure a lot of you will relate to that as well. But when I had my daughter, the first year, of course, as you know, as a newborn, that little child depends on you 24/7. So it kind of sends you on a whole different ball games in terms of you're the only one that can supply, the milk. And regardless of sleep or not, whether you're hungry or not, the baby doesn't care. The baby will do what it has to do. But I think you have to, after that first year, you have to start kind of weaning yourself off, and that's hard to do. That's hard. That's what I mean by I had to learn the hard way, because it was hard to kind of turn it off and go back to sort of who I was, but Anik 2.0, or Anik as a mom. So I kind of lost myself in those years, and it took me quite a few years to actually go back to what I liked, which it takes a while, and everybody's going to be different. But when you're a mom, it changes. But you have to remember after a while to go back to yourself.
Yes. And
learn yourself and take care of yourself along the way. Because as a mom too, you take care of everybody else in the family, or you tend to, right?
Yeah.
But you always have to make sure that as a mom or as the center of the family, precisely because you're the center of the family, you should be taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because that affects the whole family.
Yeah. So we'll go over why it's so important to be to put yourself first and to be a little bit selfish. Like, I know selfish have like a bad term or like a bad
connotation.
Yeah. But it's actually not. You need to start looking at like a different way. When you start taking care of yourself first, and it's easier to look after your family or your work or your team or people around you. Because think about it, like if you didn't sleep enough and you're tired, like it's really hard to be 100% there. Like you start missing pieces.
To be calm, or to be, usually when you're exhausted, you're tired, you're cranky, no matter what's the situation, the outcome is not going to be good, because you're dealing in not a good way. So you're probably better off stepping out of the situation, taking care of you, think about it and then make a decision after.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just not like 100% when you take decision or you're helping. So, you know, like if kid or work, like I'm more like work oriented, so I always kind of relate to my work where you're a mom, you know, like if you're not like 100% sharp, it's hard to like help when you're not, when you're tired and you don't want to do that. So that's really, really important. Like, and even in your relationship, like, you know, like being a mom, that by itself kind of changed thing in a relationship. But if you don't take time to kind of look at you and do stuff that makes you feel better, like eating better, working out, resting, taking care, like your makeup, just feeling better about yourself, that will impact your relationship
Big time.
It will so impact, and that create other stress. Like, you know, like your partner, you don't want to be intimate anymore. That create utter stress. That the wheel is just not turning in the right direction. So that's another reason why it's so important to put yourself first.
Yeah, it's the little things you like.
Yeah. So that's really why you need to put yourself first. I hope this kind of explain how you need to be selfish and just take the time. That means taking like doing your meal prep, making stuff that makes you feel good, and you really need to like fix your life around it, because there's like, you can talk about that, but how would you change, like, let's say that you're still in that mindset. So from coming that mindset that you had a hard time taking time for yourself, how did you decide to change it?
The first thing I noticed was the way I react to certain situations was not the same. It was either a complete, not breakdown, but close to. Like, I didn't know if I was going to cry one second and be very angry one second, which none of them is me. I'm pretty easygoing. I kind of go with the flow. I'm kind of like, let's make the most of even in the worst case scenario. I'm not usually one to get all my feather all in the bunch. And I realized that it was getting more and more, if not every day. And I didn't like that side about me, because I'm like, who is this? That's exactly not who I want to be. And I was almost becoming that. So to me, I said, okay, well, I kind of needed to, because I like to work out. So that was my first thing to do was, okay, well, ask the husband to take the kid so that I can work out. That was my step number one, to kind of diffuse the situation, get the anger, because to me, it's my little escape. Yeah. And I realized I wasn't doing it as much. So that was my first step. Second step, eating well. Like, I guess that was always a thing. I always enjoyed being in the kitchen, so probably that was okay. That never really kind of came into the picture, but it was more the things I used to love. Yeah. Or, you know, going to a hot yoga class or whatever it was. But to take that time, that was my first step. And then I realized how good I felt after, how much more patient. And then husband's starting to realize that, she's like a different woman. Yeah. So next thing you know, and he noticed the pattern, and he was quite helpful too when he noticed the situation was arising and my face was red. He's like, would you like to go work out? I can take care of Isabel. I was like, yes, let's do that. So he started to catch on pretty quickly what I needed as well. And if at times, sometimes he knew better than I did what I needed, right? So it was a trial and error, but it's to find what you like the most, and try to go from there. But
I think that kind of brings another good point. Sometimes, like women, we have tendency to kind of take the entire like world. Sorry, lighting was not even like towards us. Sorry, I lost my point. As a woman, we have tendency to kind of take on the entire world on our shoulders, okay? And even if you feel that you're alone a lot of time, and I think that's a normal feeling, but you need to realize that you're not alone. And I know everybody's in different situation. Some people have more support than others, but there's always like ways, and you need to kind of use your resources a little bit. Like, you'd be surprised, like she just mentioned, that maybe the husband or whoever is in your life right now is not really cooperating much, but as soon as you start like the benefit of it, like, you know, better intimacy, like better, you'll get on board pretty fast.
And I've sometimes in the past I've tag teamed with other moms, so she would watch the baby while I did my workout, and then after that it was my turn, and we just tag team and put the kids. So the kids had social time. The mom, we were happy, and we had a bit of social time too as well. So it kind of worked out really well. So use the partnership method. That's awesome.
Yeah, because you're not alone in this. So you really need to look at all the resources that you have and use them, and you'll just start feeling better, and the people around want to help.
Yeah, and I was going to say to you, Ed, learn to say no is okay.
Oh my God, yes, yes. That's another thing I have no problem. If I don't want to do something, I don't do it. But yes.
It's because it's hard to do. And again, I don't know what happens when you're a mom, but you think you have to make sure that everybody has got everything and they'll make you super mom.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You're not, you are what you are. You can be a great mom without having to say yes every single time.
Yeah.
So.
It's true though. Like, I feel we just try to do everything perfectly, and I don't think that it's not even what matters at the end of the day. Like for sports or everything, you're like everywhere, like with work, sport, and at the end of the day is the quality time that the kids will remember. Like I remember, I think people just put too much on their shoulders in general.
Yeah, no, that's it. And either pick 3 things, a day, and those are the things you do, and that's it. Your list doesn't have to get longer and longer and longer. And if it does, carry it to the next day, and then you stop the clock for a minute. Play with your child, or call that friend you want to call, whatever it is, or go for that massage.
Yeah.
Like, just do those things on a regular basis, and or sometimes just simply take your mommy hat. That's what I had to do. That was after my workout. I had to take the mommy I had to take a Friday afternoon or Saturday, whichever it worked. Had to take that time where I could just not be a mom for a minute. Stop that brain, because my brain wouldn't stop working. I was a planner and organizer, and that I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, you need to do that, like, because you become a mom or like a business owner or whatever, but that can't take on your entire life. It's still, I need to take my boss hat or my stepmom hat, like it's just, and there's a balance like between each of it, but all need to be present. Everyone balance is different, but you need to kind of find yours. But whatever, putting your mom hat the entire time is just not good. It's not like me working 100% of it's not good. Like, so you need to find whatever works. And I found sometimes people will, I mentioned it, but just take on too much. And I think you're right. You should, like your mom that part of the day, then you're doing your home stuff, like, your house doesn't need to be like spick and span all the time. But your work is not everything. And just kind of looking a little bit, because I know like the first barrier people will mention is, well, I don't have time to do that. But yes, you do. Like, you need to prioritize what's important for you. Like, let's say the homework time is essential, and then you need to work and you need to do some task at home, and you want to see a couple of friends. Well, you put that in your agenda, and that's what you're doing, and you kind of plan it. And like maybe your laundry can wait a little bit. Like it's.
I've always said, because a little bit like that too, and I get very oriented with tasks sometimes, but I would get caught up in them and kind of repeating the same thing. So what I've come up with, a little something or a little saying to myself to realize what was important, what wasn't, is if I died tomorrow, what would they say in my wake? Would they say that my closet was color coordinated?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
It's true.
Yet I just spent 2 hours organizing the short to the long to the whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter, but spending time with my daughter did, spending time with my friends, still keeping up with, even though I didn't work for a little while, I still want to stay fresh in my field. So do my research, that's the stuff that matters, that people will remember, but they won't give a crap about how my house looked like, or that my floor would just spick and span, and it's just stuff that, material things has got to come out sometimes of the picture, and really find truly what's important to you. What's your true essence?
It's true, because when you present it that way, that's something that I'm really, really good at. It's really looking at what's the most important thing right now, what matters to me. Like, I put like my ways to put kind of value of my time,
Mm-hmm.
and I take my decision with that value in mind, and that's how my brain works. So that's probably why I'm good
at what you do.
Yeah, because it's just how my brain works. Like,
It's natural to you.
yeah, I just go to like the more fulfilling or what the tasks that work more. And you're right, like at 0 point for me having clean, like organized
Mm-hmm.
closet, it doesn't pay my bill. So that's how I'm like, no one will pay for that. So for me, there's totally no value. So you need to look at your life that way.
Yeah. Where I see, for me, it's totally not automatic. So to me, I have no idea how to I don't want to say no idea, but I have to stop and think and review almost on I'd say a good weekly basis.
Okay.
Because I'm not good at it.
Okay.
I'm good at a lot of things, but I get too focused on one thing, and then I forget the rest. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
What's going on here?
Uh-huh.
So I gotta, but that's work for me. That's always work. It's always on the back of my mind. But that's why my workouts are so important, because my feet go back on the ground.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, it's clear. I know what I have to do. But it doesn't come naturally at all.
Where for me it's so natural. Like, you have no idea. Like, each time I'm doing a step, I'm like in the direction where it worked the most. Like, I just always that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's why we did a good team.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
We're complete. Yeah, we complement each other, but wow, we're different.
Yeah.
So, well, that's kind of what we had to say. Unless you want to add something to it.
Wrap it up.
So I hope it kind of opened your mind about just take the time for you, and maybe gave you some ideas on how to do it. But seriously, do it.
Yeah, and give yourself permission.
Yes.
It's okay to be what I used to consider lazy or taking some time off. I would consider myself lazy if I did.
Yeah.
So I had to allow myself to give permission. It's okay to take the time to do my nails, even though the laundry isn't done, right? It's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. It's true. Some people will like think it's laziness, or just, it's not. Like, you'll get so more productive. Like, it's just, for me, when I do that stuff, it's just automatically, like, I know it's just, if I take that half an hour off right now, when I'll come back to my task, I'll be so much better. So at 0 time, I think I'm wasting my time when I go for a nap or do my nails, or it's just not how my brain functions, because I know I'll be so much more productive when I get back. So that's probably my different mindset, where I don't, yes, I see it as laziness, but I think it's awesome. You know what I mean? It's just, I need a break. Like, I've been working the entire day. Like, it's exhausting. I took there's just so much decision you can make in one day, and
before you start making bad ones.
Yes, exactly. So you just need to recharge. Like, it's just, you need to see it that way. It's not you being lazy. It's not you being
just
like
being refreshed.
Yeah. Because after you liking a state, you start. That's why you start doing mistake. That's where you mistake. Then you need to do that work again, and then you just you're not taking. So just take break, do it. So so I hope you kind of got some tips about it, and like always, I suggest to put your comments below, and we'll be answering all your questions this week. And it's your measurement weeks. So make sure that you send your measurement. We're like getting the break. Have a good week. Bye bye.